So we've been to a lot of countries, and I've never seen this in any country before. So Jacob's listening to his music, and I'm just looking out the window, and in the distance, I see a man standing on like the side of like basically a highway, fully butt naked.
What?
No clothes, no shoes,
What?
not trying to hide himself at
Filipino?
all.
But let me just say, it's not a common thing. People don't run around naked in the Philippines. Why are foreigners always so shocked when they come to the Philippines? What's up, Philippines? Yeah, we are going to answer that question today because apparently I'm not the only one, not all vloggers, you know. It's just like everybody's just so shocked when they come to the Philippines, and I do get it. It's not what they expected, right? I feel guilty about this, but it is the truth. I do use it, maybe I have overused it in my thumbnails and titles, but coming to a place where it's nothing like you thought it would be kind of like blows your mind, and you're just like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this, or oh, okay, that's shocking to me. Like I've never experienced this kind of like kindness to a stranger in the Western country. But yeah, today we're going to react to 7 things that shocked us in the Philippines, Manila. Okay, let's see about that.
This is possibly the most shocking place we have ever been out of like 40 countries. And
40?
I definitely have
well
one
traveled.
of the most shocking stories of my life to share from the Philippines. I was stunned in my tracks. I couldn't move, I couldn't speak.
For days.
But we'll get to that.
Okay. Wow.
First, we have to start off with something that we noticed right off the bat on the first day we got there is that the people are just so
Yeah.
Like, I think we expected this going to the Philippines because they kind of have that reputation of everyone's really happy and joyful. But when you get there, you literally feel the joy coming out of these people.
like instantly. I think even at the airport, even when there's
Even like our taxi driver,
Yeah.
like the kids will like stop you in the streets and wave and run over to you and talk to you.
I think they really love the camera.
Yeah.
I
Big thing.
think Philippine people just love YouTube, and so
Yeah.
when they see you filming, they want to be a part of it too.
But even aside from that, like everyone was just so nice. It was just so welcoming. I love smiling to people. Everyone on the street smiled back to me. Like it's an easy place to really feel welcome and at home.
Yeah,
And
no matter what their job is, no matter what they're doing, I think if you smile at them, they'll smile back.
Very true, yeah.
Things.
I love that so much. Thank you. If you were in the Philippines, thank you for being so joyful and happy and just welcoming people to your home.
But there is something that we didn't expect to enjoy when we were in the
Okay, shortly about that. Yeah, I agree. First time I traveled to the Philippines, same thing. I didn't know much about it. I mean, now there's a lot of content on YouTube about the Philippines thanks to some pioneer vloggers. But back then in the day I had to read blog posts about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, what is this country about? I've never heard much about it, you know. So yeah, I was really blown away by the friendliness of the people when I arrived and the honesty as well.
Philippines, and that was the food.
Yeah, okay, so we had heard maybe, like, we've watched a few YouTube videos of people saying, like, maybe food in the Philippines wasn't the best, and so we kind of went into it being like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna like the food here, but we loved the food. Like,
yeah, if you love comfort
so
food,
good, especially the dynamite
it's a good
sticks.
place.
I think about them every day. They're so good.
they are good.
Yeah, just really any dish that we tried, we're like, well, we'll just give this one a shot, because we went into it fully expecting we might like some things.
Okay, halo halo is a good one.
Most things, but we'll still go to the Philippines because we want to go anyway.
Yeah.
And then we're like, every single time we try
Kinilaw,
a new local
good
dish, we're like,
choice.
why is this is good?
Like
this
the
is
pork, the lumpia. Like, I don't even think we had anything that we didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was a couple things that we've forgotten about by now, but like
Everything was so good.
Chicken
if you want to
inasal.
learn more
Yum.
about the Filipino people or the food, we made videos about those. It was our first and second videos in the Philippines. I think those really show how friendly the people.
Okay, yeah, the food, it is a little bit on the heavy side and it is more fried and is more comfort food, but there are some really light dishes like kinilaw, for example, that are really lovely, and it's like different soups, and it's just, you know, you have to find what you like. It's not like one of those cuisines where you're just like, okay, like for example, I do love healthy food, I prefer fresh vegetables, and in the Philippines it's more like, you know, there's stews and everything is just like cooked and fried, so it's kind of like different. But I feel like if you love comfort food, it's the place to be. Also amazing fried chicken, like one of the best.
Are and how good the food is.
Wait till the end of this video and then go watch this video.
Yeah, that's a good idea because we still got plenty more to talk about.
And you need to know my story.
Okay.
You need to know my story.
So number 3 that shocked us is that the transportation was surprisingly easy.
Okay.
I feel like when you go to a foreign country, you never really know what the transportation is going to be like. We've definitely gone to countries and been like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare.
Been there, done that.
I hate this.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing in the Philippines, there are some modes of transportation that are probably going to be very difficult for foreigners to understand, like what the jeepneys and the buses and everything like that. And we decided to kind of avoid those more difficult transportation modes and just
fair enough.
Grab.
Grab is so easy.
Yeah, we took Grabs pretty much everywhere, or we walked everywhere, and it was super nice and easy and affordable, and the air conditioning was good when you get in the cars. It had air conditioning. When you're walking around the city, you tend to get hot, so that was really nice.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Grab. It's so easy to, roam around, you just order it, or you can also do some of the scooter taxis, which is a little bit more adventurous. Wouldn't recommend it in Manila, maybe, when you go on EDSA with uncles, but I do have to say Grab is a very good choice. It's affordable, especially for tourists coming to the Philippines. It's safe, it's trackable, it's air conditioned, so you're good.
Yeah, definitely the air conditioning was very, very nice. We're like, well, we don't want to get into like
it's
a
hot
bus
in
or something
Manila.
that might not have air conditioning. And just get in there and pay like a couple dollars to go, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes, and it's just really nice to relax for a little
and just
bit.
so convenient. And what was also convenient was the airport.
Oh,
I didn't know what the airport situation was
Manila
gonna be
airport
like,
is convenient.
but the airport was like, security was really fast, getting through immigration was really fast, the planes left on time. Like, the airport situation was great, and I really, really appreciate that, because sometimes airports are a mess,
sure about that.
and they were very good, and the lounges there were good too, so.
Yeah, at this point I do have to do some research how often they travel the Philippines, because it can happen that there are flight delays, especially traveling within the country, so just saying, be prepared for that.
If you decide to not use Grabs and stuff like we did, I'm sure you could figure out the public transportation, because everyone speaks English there so well. Like, you could stop on the street and pretty much ask anyone for any information, and they would be able to speak perfect English with you and tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, that's so great, because I believe
I agree.
Filipinos, they speak multiple languages, and so, when we're like, okay, everyone speaks English, we kind of knew that going in, but I'm like, how well would they actually speak it? And you could have full conversations with pretty much everyone,
and
right?
like the signs are in English.
Yeah,
like everything
it's national
is
language.
In English. It just makes it so easy to travel around.
Yeah.
It's time for my story. I hope that
Yeah, just something that I also didn't know. English is spoken everywhere. Even the Ifugao in the mountains can speak English, so not many countries can say that about
properly
their people.
convey my shock in this scenario. So, we've been to 40 countries, right? You see, like...
Almost 40.
Almost 40, yeah, whatever. So we've been to a lot of countries, and I've never seen this in any country before. So we were driving to Kawasan Falls and the other waterfall that we went to. We're driving on like a very, very public road. We're on like basically a highway. It's not quite a highway, but it's a highway. There's people everywhere, cars everywhere.
But there's also like a bunch of shops and stuff on the side of the road.
Yeah, shops, restaurants, all the things. So Jacob's listening to his music, and I'm just looking out the window, absorbing all of the Filipino local life and all of the things. And in the distance, I see a man standing on like the side of like basically a highway. And I'm like staring at him, and like my brain could not compute what I was seeing in the moment. I was so shocked I couldn't even turn to Jacob and be like, Jacob, look at this. Like, I was speechless. I was stunned. I literally couldn't physically move to turn and tell Jacob, hey, look
what's happening.
So we're getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, I am seeing a man standing in the street, fully butt naked. No clothes, no shoes, not trying to hide himself at all. Just fully naked.
Right, he was just standing there.
He was just standing there,
just
like
doing nothing.
If you guys are the street, he was just standing there, fully naked, and
I don't know what happened. I don't know the context.
For a long time, I saw everything. I couldn't even look away. I was just like, I mean, like, we've been to countries before, and you see people, like, peeing in the streets. Like, we've seen that many times. Like,
Okay, but I don't get it. Never saw a
in the
naked
streets, right?
man in the
I've
Philippines.
just never seen someone so blatantly not care about being naked. And I don't know. Like, maybe you guys can explain this to me. Like, is it not illegal to be naked in public? Was he, like, probably on drugs? Or is there, like, a
Wow.
people that are naked?
Okay.
Like, so they're naked.
Relax.
inside.
Maybe they took a back road and it was just a guy in front of his house in the jungle on the way to take a bath with the tabo shower. You know, I don't know. Could be. Out of context, I can't really say. But let me just say, it's not a common thing. People don't run around naked in the Philippines. Just saying.
In some places around the world.
But probably not in the main cities
But
of the Philippines.
I would love if you have any explanation for this because I was shocked.
That was probably the most
I don't know
shocking
about
thing that
this.
we ever
Just-
experienced in the
And
Philippines.
Jacob couldn't
And
even experience it because I literally couldn't speak or move. I just was like, and I don't think that it should reflect the Philippines. I think it's probably
Yeah.
more this man was
Good point mentioning
probably
it.
on drugs or drunk. I'm honestly not sure. He wasn't acting weird or anything. He was just standing there naked. So I don't know. If you know what that's about,
Sunbathing?
please
I
let
don't
me
know.
because I'm dying to know.
But we need to transition that to saying that we felt safe pretty much the
Yeah.
entire time. in
Okay,
the Philippines.
safety.
Yes, there was one
Naked
naked
man.
man just over there, but we still felt
Yeah.
safe. Like,
We walked from place to place. Like, I think, like, just,
yeah.
like, within any city, within any country, of course, there are places where you're gonna want to be more careful. But as long as you're, like, sticking to, like, the places where there's a lot of people, like, a lot of,
Like the tourist attractions.
you're totally
like,
gonna be safe. Everything's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Manila.
people might-
Manila.
stare at you a little bit and might make you feel uncomfortable, but it's not really like they're trying to harm you. They're just like watching you to see
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Or, like, selling you things, but again,
Yeah.
that happens in every country. And the Philippine people, again, are so nice, so it's never like you feel scared or nervous or anything. You're
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
it's
take the
totally
normal precautions.
I feel
of,
fairly
like,
safe.
have your
Felt
keep your
safe
stuff
for
in your front pocket.
many years.
Just like you would in any country when you're traveling. Like we do that in every country, no matter where we are.
Something else that we noticed in the city was that there was a lot of Spanish influence.
You guys,
Yeah.
sometimes when we were walking down a street, I genuinely was like, I feel like I'm in Europe right now. Like, I think it's because the Spanish colonized the Philippines.
Yes,
right?
that
That's
is
why
right.
There's so much like the buildings look like Spanish buildings.
Mhm, and like the names of some of the cities
Yeah.
are Spanish names. Yeah.
And do people speak Spanish there?
No, they don't.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Let me know if you know. But yeah, it was.
It's not widely
honestly, it was
spoken, at
beautiful.
least.
Like the cathedrals and the cobblestone streets, like everything was gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, that was really fun to see all that because we've been in Asia for a long time, and so it was
Yeah.
fun. A
was
little
really
bit
fun.
of Spain.
Something that was like a little bit sad,
Okay.
I think, or just like unfortunate, was like everything in the Philippines had been super, super cheap and affordable. The hotels, the restaurants, the food, the transportation, and then probably because it's the most touristy thing, but all of the like tours were so
Tours?
expensive.
Oh,
Which
really?
was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I was really sad about that. Yeah, like especially coming from the United States, like our U.S. dollars go really far in the Philippines, and we were like, oh yeah, of course we'll take rideshare, of course.
Okay,
we'll
I'll let them
eat
talk,
whatever
I'll let
food
them
we
talk.
want. But when it came to the tours, especially the one that we did in for Kawasan Falls, it was like over $200 for
Yeah.
the two of us to go.
And we chose like the cheapest tour possible.
Oh, wow.
Absolute cheapest one that we could do
$200
in
is-
Cebu that we still wanted to do. Like we didn't even get to do like the canyoneering
Yeah.
because everybody says to do that, but that was like way more expensive
Yeah.
than the one we chose. We were just like, yeah, I guess I get it because it's a tourist like thing,
Yeah.
but
They're like, okay, no local people are probably doing this, so we can charge more because it's pretty much only the tourists doing it. Overall.
Okay, just a quick thing. They just mentioned everything is so inexpensive, so cheap to travel around, accommodations, which I disagree with. They are, for what you get, a little bit expensive. Food, outside of the big cities, of course, and yeah, like other things, like really little things. And I think the tours got really popular, and once they get popular, people know they can charge more. Especially when you're a US tourist, your dollars go far. So, let people benefit from tourism because at the end of the day, you're coming to the country to see it and somebody benefits from it, and that's just how it is.
To just love the Philippines.
Hopefully these people can send their kids to school.
Shocked us in, I think, like the best ways possible.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
we loved it so much.
It's definitely not the easiest like place to travel ever, but if you try to just make it more convenient on yourself, like we did, like it definitely helped out.
And if you're watching from the Philippines, just know we love you guys so much, and we thank you so much for all of your comments and subscribing to us, and we hope that you will follow us as we travel to more countries around the world. And next we are headed to Malaysia.
Interesting.
So we hope you will subscribe and join us for Malaysia and Singapore and everywhere we go after that. So we will see you in
Alright! Well, what do we have to say about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. I personally can relate to a few things, to some a little bit less, because I'm just like, it's just like a small thing, or it's like too much. Definitely don't think that the naked man is something that you see every day in the Philippines, so I wouldn't really say that it is a thing in the Philippines. Nevertheless, great video I would say, and yeah, definitely let me know what you think about it. Also, check out my other channel, Nelly's Life. Like they said, I do travel as well to other countries, so if you want to follow my journey of me just like solo traveling, exploring new places, making new friends, introducing you to new foods and cultures, please give it a subscribe and hit the notification bell. And of course, if you like this content, as always, subscribe and do all of the things, comment, share it with your friends, whatever. Your support means a lot to me, and yeah, that was it. I'll see you guys next time here on What's Up Philippines. Bye.